We be live. Hi everyone. My name is Armin Navabi. This is the Atheist Republic. How's my audio? Let me know in the live chat. Make sure you have liked the stream. Make sure that you mention in the live chat that you have liked the stream. Alfred is here. Alfred, fantastic. Alfred is going to be highlighting your comments so that your comments get to be part of the show. Alfred, highlight some comments so that people can see what I'm talking about. Fantastic. Okay, I see D is here. Nico is here. Atheist Damien is here. Event is here. Anath is here. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, great. See, this is how it works. So, see, our comments in the live chat will be part of the stream. If you're watching this on Twitter, come over to Atheist Republic on YouTube and watch us over there. So, when we're talking, you get to be part of the show. So, today we're doing Sweden. Apparently, something has changed significantly in Sweden, and they have managed to achieve something that they managed to get to net immigration, meaning that for the first time, people who are leaving Sweden, especially from third world countries, are higher than the people coming in. We will get to that. This is a huge success. Good news, everyone. Good news. So Sweden, countries like Sweden and Denmark are now normalizing being anti-mass migration. And when countries like this do such a thing, then it makes it more difficult for other people to label demanding, defending your borders and your demographics, and and being against mass migration. It's harder to label that as far right when entire countries' policies, especially countries that are with parties that are not extremely right, like Sweden or Denmark, when they do such things. This is really good news for us because, see guys, this is, Netherlands also. This is really good news for us because, especially for people in the UK who keep saying like, oh, UK has fallen. Well, Sweden was considered fallen, and look how things are turning. Like, this is progress. We don't give up. Let's actually go back a couple of, so these are, let's see where we were at and where we are right now. So let's look at this. Okay, so
orders to over.
So this is from before. I'm not going to give you the good news yet. I'm going to read to you the good news after. I'll show you, because Sweden has arguably been the most dangerous country in Western Europe. Let me actually make sure that I'm saying that correctly. Yes, Sweden is the most dangerous country in Europe. Yeah, actually, no, it is. I wasn't exaggerating. This is true. According to analysts in Germany, right? And again, we will evaluate whether or not this is because of migration or not. Spoiler alert, it is. And I will also try to do some fact checking, and some people use data to show that it's not because of that. I will show you why that analysis is wrong. But for people who want to get like a recap of what's happened, what has been happening in Sweden, let's play this from Belmar and a couple other videos to see how bad the situation was, and then I will tell you how good things are becoming right now, right? Like how much progress that we're making right now. So let's watch this first.
Sweden opened its borders to over 1.5 million immigrants since 2010. And now 20% of its citizens are foreign-born, and its education system is tanking, and it has Europe's highest rate of gangland killings. And one result is that the far-right parties are in the government now there for the first time. To which liberals say blaming immigrants for the rising crime rate is racist. Yeah, but is it true? Of course it's true. It's not a coincidence the quality of life went down after the Somali gangs started a drug turf war using hand grenades. Calling it racist doesn't solve the problem. It hands future elections to someone who will solve the problem and who, I promise, you're not going to like.
Right. So Sweden was considered one of the safest countries in Europe, and it went from the safest, one of the safest, to one of the most dangerous. Oh, by the way, Dolly is here. Dolly, thank you so much. Dolly is the one who found me all these videos. So thank you so much, Dolly, for setting up the stream. Let's go to this one. This one requires some reading, so because it's not in English.
Kvinnor i Sverige
So women in Sweden are having their lives controlled and
får sina
limited.
liv begränsade.
Det här är ju ett mönster som mest
These parents remind us of gender apartheid.
liknar könsapartheid, men som faktiskt drabbar både
It affects both little girls and women in certain
Både
suburbs.
kvinnor och flickor i vissa förorter.
Titta här.
Men en grupp
So a group of religious men eventually found this place. Okay.
religiösa unga män har ändå hittat hit och stoppar nu
So, but religious men, I mean, should we mention which religion? No, we're going to mention that. No? Okay. All right. They're just religious. They are now stopping women. Okay, so these are some religious men. Guys, guess what religion we're talking about here, okay? Just guess. They are now stopping women that are on their way to a party.
tjejer på väg till festen och försöker
This is Sweden, by the way. Amazing. They try to persuade them from going to the party. So, okay, so it's like a morality police. They're policing their public.
övertala
Oh, yeah, but somebody guessed Hinduism? Yes. Oh, sound is good. Everything sounds fine. Thank you, Dee, for confirming that the sound is good.
dem att inte
I think they must be a bunch of Jainists. Jainism. That's what I'm guessing. Or maybe Buddhist. I don't know.
gå in.
I think they believe in ancient Egyptian mythology. That's it.
Tjejer på väg till festen och försöker övertala dem att inte gå in.
Imagine, because they're trying to persuade women from going to a party because they consider it to be immoral. Oh my God, these are Sharia patrols. This is what the Sharia patrol looks like in Sweden. Unbelievable. Wait. Yeah, that's amazing. What the hell? How do you allow this to happen?
Man känner sig sviken.
So this woman is saying, we feel betrayed. My life is collapsing.
Mitt liv håller på att rasa samman. Och ingen gör.
Nobody is doing anything about this. Okay, so she recorded this harassment. Somebody saying, I will break your windows, you whore. Watch out tonight. Oh my God. Guys, must be very scary to be a woman with Islamists around. You know, sometimes when I'm out alone, in the streets by myself, I always think like, you know what? If I knew that half the population could just physically overpower me, that's a scary thought. And then, I can see why it's intimidating to be a woman sometimes, right? Like, imagine just walking in the streets and knowing basically half of the people you're seeing could overpower you at any moment that they want. Like, yeah, I would like to go back home now and lock the doors. I will break your windows, you whore. Watch out tonight. Okay, YouTube, this is not my language. This is this video's language. You will not be able to sleep, you fucking whore. Wow. Yeah, Dolly is confirming. Dolly is saying, scary to live in a neighborhood full of Islamists. Yep, must be. Yes, you'll not. Wow, okay. Your window will be smashed tonight. Wait and see. Guys, this is Sweden. Sweden. The neighbors are irritated over, what is that? Something is blocking what I'm saying. Okay, one, that she lives there as a single woman. Okay.
Grannar irriterar sig på att hon lever ensam, att hon har hundar.
Two, that she has dogs, which is seen as
som enligt tolkningar av islam är ett
dirty animal according to certain interpretation of Islam. Certain interpretation of Islam? What are you talking about? Oh my God! There's not certain interpretation of Islam. Islam. What the fuck is this? Why are you trying to make? Oh my God! Even after all of this, you're just trying to certain interpretation of Islam. Should I bring hadith to show that this is not certain? This is authentic hadith. Muhammad was trying to kill all the dogs because they're from the devil. Muhammad, this is their authentic hadith says this. What's their interpretation of Islam? It's Islam. It's all. Oh my God. Why are they trying to make excuses? Like, it's not all of Islam. It's certain interpretation of Islam. What are you talking about? Muhammad himself was anti-dog. Unbelievable. What the fuck? I have to go find. Oh my God. Okay. I will have to bring this up. This is pissing me off. Yeah, so let me actually, I'm so pissed that I'm not gonna actually bring up the hadith. This is important so people know that this is not. There we go. I am going to bring these after this is over. So let's watch the rest of this first. Okay, so dirty animal. So she has a dog. She lives in part of Sweden that apparently there's a lot of Islamists around her, and because she has a dog, she's being intimidated by her neighbors that, oh, you dirty whore, you have a dog. By the way, it's not unclean. Look at how they're saying. It's a dirty animal. It's not dirty. It's spiritually dirty. Like they're like, oh, according to Islam, it's dirty. Not dirty as in it's unclean. It's dirty as in sinful. Okay, it's not like the dog. They're saying dirty as if I wash it, it will be okay. A dog is spiritually unclean. It's a sin to be with it. It's not like dirty as if you could give it a bath and then it will become clean, right? So I think you're misunderstanding what's happening here. You're completely misunderstanding what's happening here. Hold on. I'm going to bring up a couple of these. Let me prepare these while I talk between. Okay. Let's continue. Three, that she drinks wine on the porch with her friends. Oh, no. Well, this is morality police. This is morality police in Sweden. Unbelievable.
Hennes vänner tar ett glas vin när de grillar på hennes uteplats.
But I don't understand how the Islam can survive in the West when it's anti-dog. Anti-dog. Like, if there's one thing holy in the West, is dog, okay?
När man kom hem.
When I came home, I could find my flowers. Oh no, vandalized. They broke my position. Oh.
Så kunde blommorna ha varit förstörda. Ja, saker förstörda. Kunde ha.
Several women came to my porch to lecture me about not drinking alcohol here. Wow, like they own the place.
Kvinnor som kunde klampa in och tala om att här ska ni inte dricka.
They tried to lecture me many times about that. I had to get myself a husband. What? I had to get myself a husband. She got married not out of love, but because she needed... Oh my God. I had to go get myself a husband. What the... Oh no. Oh my God.
Hörde många gånger att jag skulle skaffa mig en man.
Yeah, by the way, somebody says, and the cats are considered blessed in Islam, and it's the opposite in Zoroastrianism. I don't know what or how this happened, but in Islam, dogs are, spiritually unclean, and cats are holy for some freaking reason. Not holy, like spiritually blessed or something. And in Zoroastrian is the opposite. For some reason, dogs in Zoroastrians are considered to be holy or spiritual or I don't know, whatever. And cats are evil. Cats are bad. And for some reason, what is it called? Some other animals are bad as well. Anyways, let me see. Let's go.
Vem sa det?
I think it's competition between Islam and Zoroastrianism. If Zoroastrians like dogs and we hate dogs. No, I'm just kidding. So I said there's the fight. Yeah, the Islamic invasion of Persia, it was basically a disagreement over cats or dogs. so Persian Zoroastrianism versus Arabic Islam. the fight was like, yeah, so the Zoroastrianism believed dogs are superior and Islam believed cats were superior. So it was just an ancient cat over dogs dispute. That's why they invaded Persia. Okay, so they tried to lecture me. Okay, so she got herself a husband.
Vem sa det?
And the reporter is asking, who said this? And Mary, the Swedish woman, is saying, both men and women told me this.
Ja, blandat folk härifrån.
Kvinnor, män.
Kvinnor och män.
Oh, look, she's about to cry. She's about to cry. I feel so sad.
När vi jobbar kvällstid så är det ju få tjejer ute i miljöerna.
Okay, so this is the police, I think. She's saying, when we work at evening time, we only see a few women here in public places.
Vad innebär få?
Could you specify few? The journalist is asking, and the police saying, so the police says, almost none. So basically this area of Sweden, apparently there's so much Muslims that women don't come out.
Nästan inga alls.
So he did nothing says how pro-woman Islam is more than women staying indoors in a place, in an area where it's more Islamic, right? This is, yeah. I mean, what would you expect? What would you expect?
Al-Azhar-skolans
The school bus, Al-Azhar bus? What the fuck is this? They call the bus Al-Azhar? Drives primary school children from... Why is this school... I don't understand. Why is the bus called Al-Azhar? You know, like Al-Azhar University in Cairo, Egypt? Dolly, what is this? What is this? Can you help me out here? Why is the bus called Al-Azhar? The school bus is called Al-Azhar bus drives primary school children. What the fuck?
buss kör lågstadiebarnen mellan skolan och...
Is this Sweden? In Sweden, they calling school buses Al-Azhar? Oh no. Oh no. Oh my God. This is okay. Oh my God. All right. Let's continue. Thank you, Dolly. Is Dolly saying this for Islamic schools? Okay. They have Islamic schools in Sweden?
Mellan skolan och bostadsområden.
The neighborhood to the school in Tenta and Rinkeby?
I Tensta och Rinkeby. Flickorna hänvisas
The young girls enter the bus from the back.
till dörren längst bak och pojkarna till de...
While the boys enter the bus from the front entrance. Oh my devil. What the fuck are you talking about? This is what I'm used to when I was in Iran. By the way, Alfred, you're here. Is it still like that in Iran where men sit in front of the bus and the women sit at the back of the bus? Where's Rosa Parks when you need her? Oh my God. What the fuck? This is Rosa Parks situation, guys. Girls sit at the back of the bus. So you're separate. This is gender segregation. Yeah, so Alfred, this is basically Alfred is saying exactly. By the way, a lot of women in Iran are challenging that by coming in and sitting in front of the bus where they're not meant to be because the front area is the men's area, right? And now you have that in Sweden. So in Iran, women, when they want to challenge this gender segregation, they go sit in the front bus. This is basically like Rosa Parks, where this is basically like in United States where black people were supposed to sit at the back of the bus. So now you have that in Sweden. You're segregating your buses based on gender, and for children. What the fuck? And by the way, they don't. So you might think like, well, this is not Islamic Armin because children they don't need to be segregated. Boys and girls can be together as children. Yeah, but Islamically, you're not a child above 9 anymore for girls at least. So they don't even consider these to be children, Islamically. Rosa Akbar Park. Yeah, this is we need a Rosa Park for Islam. This is like nothing tells you how backward Islam is when you separate. Like basically what racism does for race, Islam does that for gender. Like this is exactly what we had the civil rights movement for black people in the United States, but now Sweden has gone backwards and we're doing this to women. So, okay. I remember this because of my childhood. Because I took the bus in Iran. You know, men were in front, women at the back. The mosque as well. Men in front, women at the back. I mean, why is it that women are always at the back? Anyways.
främre dörrarna. Forskaren David
Oh, I know. This is the argument. They say like, well, because women that don't get horny seeing men get horny seeing women. That's what they say. They're like, no, Armin. It's not because we put the women at the back, not because we're saying women are inferior to men. It's because we are acknowledging that if we put men at the back, then they will be looking forward and they will be seeing the woman and they get horny. But if the women are at the back, when they see the men, they don't get horny. Okay, so that's the argument.
Räckvidd ser en par
So imagine if they say, like, imagine if we put in the mosque, we put the woman in the front, and they were all like, when they were doing the sajda, the prostration, all their butts were up, and all the men were at the back, just watching all these women's butts. So they were like, okay, obviously that shouldn't be doing that won't work. So that's their justification, right? Okay, so what is this? The scientist Devin Rixvid compares this to the buses. Oh, hey, I didn't pre-watch this. They got to the same conclusion. The scientist Devin Rixvid compares this to the buses in Alabama in the 1950s. Yes.
räckvidd ser en parallell till bussarna i Alabama i USA på
But why are you allowing this? Like, how is this allowed? Like, where's the cops? Like, yeah, we don't have gender segregation in this country. Like, how is this just like a thing?
50-talet.
When black passengers, yes, like Alabama in the 1950s, when black passengers had to sit on the back of the bus.
Där svarta tvingades åka längst bak och vita där
While white passengers sat in the front of the bus. These suburbs are unfortunately conquered land. Wow. We have lost control of it. Okay, so there's that. Now let's watch another video. By the way, guys, don't worry. I know this seems bad. I have good news for today. Okay, so these are from before. These are from before, but now I have something that has changed about Sweden. And it's good. It's good. All right. So what is this? This is video number 3. The context is Swedish gangs and Islamists. Okay. So let's watch this. Hopefully this one is English, so I don't have to translate.
Did you know that Sweden is the gun crime capital of Europe? Safe old Sweden. Not so safe anymore. In Sweden, the most notorious dangerous place, a city called Malmö, and the most notorious suburb of Malmö.
I didn't know this has music. I should have removed the music, but like I'm just gonna pause sometimes.
There's a place called Rosengard. It's actually a very dangerous place. The suburb of Rosengard is home of the famous soccer player Ibrahimovic. To get there, we've got to catch a train from here, getting off.
Pausing because of music. I don't want to get a copyright strike.
Near the airport here, catching a proper train that crosses the bridge into Sweden. Then once we're in Sweden, we're changing trains and catching it to the suburb Rosengard. I didn't know you got to press it, bro. I'm used to Australia, lad. Look at these straight away at the station.
Pausing again because of music.
I had no idea that the flats would be in this bad of a condition in Sweden. This was unexpected.
Oh my god, the music.
Look at the entrances to these blocks, bro. They're built like prison visits. Police helicopter flying over, blue and red lights. It's the first time I've done a hood tour and a police helicopter's been out about.
Yeah, it's like a war zone or something. Oh my god, why is it... I'm sure the music is...
Wow, look at them all.
All right, I'm gonna stop playing this because I'm scared about the music. Okay, so let's go again. Remember, the only thing we fear here on this channel is the YouTube gods. Okay, bless us, gods. You know. By the way, please pray to the YouTube gods in the live chat. The only gods that we recognize here at the Atheist Republic. What is this one? This is these are Muslims in Sweden's protesting. So let's see where they're protesting. This is an anti-Islamophobia protest in Sweden. Oh, they're holding the Quran in their hands. I mean, the chants are more related to demonstrating Islamic dominance. It seems. They're doing the Shahadatain and they're doing Allahu Akbar. This is Sweden, guys. So this is not gonna remove. This is not a very good anti-Islamophobia demonstration, because this is actually going to get people more intimidated and more scared. This is not going to help against so-called Islamophobia. This is actually a show of force and dominance. This is meant to intimidate. That's why they're chanting Allahu Akbar. So they were holding the Quran. This video is actually very interesting. Let me actually see the comments here. So, okay, so Levantix is saying, I don't agree, Armin. I think they aren't even spiritually unclean. I mean, of course, I didn't say I agree with Islam. Islam says that. I don't say that. Oh, yeah, I forgot to show you the hadith, actually. Dolly, if you could, like, connect this part to that other video when you're editing, this part to that other one. Let's watch it 7 times. No, not this one. Narrated by the cleansing, the messenger of Allah ordered. Oh, here. So let me actually get this. Okay, so here's a couple of hadiths for you guys. Let me share this. So this one, let me actually put it here, so we can zoom in a little bit. Okay, the messenger of Allah, meaning Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ordered killing of the dogs, and then said, "What about them? I.e., about other dogs?" And then granted concession to keep the dog for hunting and the dog for security of the herd, and said, "When the dog licks the utensil, wash it 7 times and rub it with earth the 8th time." Okay. So Muhammad was ordered Muslims to kill dogs, and some people are like, okay, but some of them we need for hunting and guarding. And here, like, okay, fine. Muhammad said the ones that you need for guarding and hunting, you can keep those, but the rest you kill. The rest you kill. So, and here's another one. And by the way, guys, this is authentic Sahih Hadith. So this is a fundamental part of Islam, accepted by all Sunni Islamic schools of thought. So you cannot say that this is like some interpretation of Islam. This is all of Islam, right? And the Shias have their own hadith on this as well. I hear his voice and commanding the dog. Oh, here's another one. There's a lot of these. This is, I heard the messenger of Allah raising his voice and commanding that dogs be killed, and dogs were killed except for hunting dogs or dogs kept for herding livestock. So this one is also Sahih, as you can see. And then we have, okay, this one. There was one that says, angels do not. Oh, here, this is an interesting one. So if you have a dog, angels will not come. So the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, angels do not enter a house that has either a dog or a picture in it. So if you have a pet dog, angels will not visit your house. So sad to be you. So yeah, so being anti-dog is Muhammad, is Sunnah. It's Muhammad. Guys, whenever I say it's Sunnah, it means it is the way. It's Muhammad's way, right? So Sunnah means, you know how in Hinduism they say karma or dharma. They say dharma, meaning it's the way. In Islam, they say Sunnah, means it is the way. Like it's Muhammad's way, right? So this is Sunnah. It's Sunnah. To be anti-dog is Sunnah, unless it's for guarding or hunting. Arthur saying my dog is an angel himself. Aww. 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 Yeah, oh, okay. Levant. Well, it was a joke. How was that a joke? It was not a very funny joke. I'm kidding. No, somebody's saying Sweden's government is all woke women. First of all, what do you have against women? Second of all, that's not true. You spoke too soon. I am telling you that this is going to end well. Today, we're not one of those days that we're just complaining and like, governments, just like opening the borders to mass migration. Today is not one of those days. Today is going to end on a good note, okay? Things have changed in Sweden. This video that I'm showing you right now is like from 10 years ago, okay? And from 10 years ago till now, things have been getting worse and worse and worse and worse. But now things are seeming to be changing. And I'm going to show you that. Why don't be so today is an optimistic day, okay? Today is not one of those days that we just complain about things, okay? So, but let's watch this. This is an old video, but imagine if it was like this 10 years ago, how bad it got even after that, because they increased migration after that. So let's watch this.
And they don't.
Oh, wait, what is this? This is illegal migrants in Sweden attacking a journalist. Well, yeah, I mean, we don't know if they're illegal or not. They're just migrants. They might even be legal migrants because nobody checked who these people are. But let's see, but we can't tell that they're migrants. So let's watch this. They come to this area. This journalist is coming to an area with a lot of migrants. So let's look at what happened.
And they don't assimilate well into the Swedish culture and society, and they're unemployed, and they're poor. So you add all these factors together, and their youth are feeling marginalized. And don't speak Swedish very well, so they don't get jobs or get into the Swedish youth culture either.
But not everyone is hostile.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my cousin lives in Melbourne.
Many local.
Wow, guys, that's so great. Not everyone is hostile. So the good thing is that if you're looking at these migrants, we have to be happy that the statement that every single one of them is hostile is not true. That is our standard right now, okay? So this is what we're celebrating here. The fact that it's false to say that every single individual among these people is hostile, that is a false statement, and that is good, and that's our standard now. So now, guys, not every one of them are hostile. That's amazing. That's so good. Wow. So only like a majority of them? Or like, is that what you're saying? Like, guys, only a majority of them are hostile. Not every single one of them. I'm not saying that. She's setting the standard. Oh my God.
Many locals are polite and friendly.
By the way, I'm not claiming the majority of them, but I'm saying that that's the standard that she's setting.
And happy to talk.
It's good.
Yeah.
I'm very happy.
But what happened next changed everything. The police leave, and as we prepare to go, young men masking their faces arrive.
Good, you're doing good. You're doing good? Yeah. Okay, very good. Take it easy. Okay, you too.
And attack.
Go. Mate, go! Don't you touch me. Okay, we're gonna drink.
Excuse me. Please.
Get out of here.
No, we are leaving, but you don't need to hurt us. There's no need to be unkind. Hey,
You can't speak. No, don't do it.
The gang's attention turns when a local intervenes and drives his mobility scooter into the most violent attacker.
Move.
Whoa!
We've been individually attacked.
They got saved by a guy in a wheelchair. Look, they were being surrounded. The guys were being attacked. They were being punched and everything. And a guy with a wheelchair came and saved a Swedish guy. Look at this. Look at that guy in the wheelchair came and saved them.
Go! Don't you touch me.
The most violent guy got like attacked by a wheelchair.
Okay, we're gonna drink.
Excuse me. Please.
Get out of here.
No, we are leaving, but you don't need to hurt us. There's no need to be unkind. Hey,
You can't speak. No, don't do it.
The gang's attention turns when a local intervenes and drives his mobility scooter into the most violent attacker.
Oh my God.
We've been individually attacked.
That guy is a hero. Who's that guy? Oh, they're like, go, 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 go. Yeah, what happened to the wheelchair guy? What happened to him after? Somebody say, oh, and they left the wheelchair guy behind. R.I.P. Yeah, what are they like? What happened? Did the wheelchair guy survive? They just left him alone. Oh no! Like, are they gonna do what the? Okay, I don't know. I feel bad now. I'm scared for the wheelchair guy. Guys, make sure you like the stream. Make sure you like the stream. Yes, thank you so much, Amir, for reminding people to like the stream. Yes. But anyways, guys, I have good news for you guys. I have good news. Good news. Let me actually put this on this page. Is that better? Is that better? No, that's not better. Maybe if I do it like this, it will be easier to read. Yes, that's better. No. Go up. All right. So, guys, look, success. Sweet. Look how they're mentioning it. Sweden has net immigration. Immigration means people like who are leaving immigration for the first time in 50 years, right? So, for decades, Sweden had been known as the destination for non-European immigrants because of its welcoming culture and perhaps overly generous welfare system. But now that era seems to be ending. The Swedish Ministry of Justice recently announced that Sweden is on track to register the lowest total number of asylum seekers this year since 1997, having already reached net immigration for the first time in half a century, meaning that more people left in 2024 than arrived. Isn't this great? And look at how this happened. According to the figures of Swedish Migration Agency, only 5,600 asylum claims have been registered in the country in 2024 so far, representing a 27% drop compared to the same period from last year. At the same time, immigration or return migration, so immigration means return migration, grew by over 60%, especially among people born in Iraq. So this is not like a brain drain or anything like that, okay? So this is people leaving, people are going back, people who are from Iraq, Somalia, and Syria, resulting to date in an outbound net excess of around 5,700 people. According to Migration Minister Maria Stenergard, the government's efforts have produced results. Guys, this has been an effort by the government in Sweden to make this happen, right? So is this like far right now? They are trying to do this. Like this is now people like in the UK or Germany or other places, they're like, we want what Sweden is doing. Like you could use this as a model, because Sweden was always being used as a model for leftist people, as a place that was like, welcoming everybody in. So now the patriots have to be like, okay, two could play that game. Now we want what Sweden is doing. Like, are we far right for asking what Sweden is doing right now? The number of asylum applications is looking to be historically low. Asylum-related residence permits continue to decrease, and Sweden has what it calls net immigration for the first time in 50 years. This development towards sustainable immigration is necessary to strengthen integration and reduce social exclusion. Wow. What makes this even bigger what makes this an even bigger accomplishment is the fact that on average the number of asylum applications remain persistently high throughout the EU. Therefore, domestic policy. So this is domestic policy. So this is not because there's just less asylum seekers. This is Sweden's policy that has resulted in this, right? Therefore, domestic policy likely plays a much bigger role in affecting these numbers than any external factors. Most current immigration does not involve Swedish-born Oh yeah, this is fantastic. Does not involve Swedish-born expatriates leaving. So this is not like people leaving. Stalling demographic concerns about a brain drain. Yes. So this is not a brain drain. This is just people from third world countries, Middle Islamic countries leaving, right? Following an election dominated by anti-immigration sentiment in 2022. See, guys, if you mobilize, if you become politically active, if you could, hold your politician responsible, it actually might produce results. So don't be like, oh my God, UK has fallen, I give up, there's no hope. The people in Sweden did not give up, and they are getting the return on their political investment, right? So following an election dominated by anti-immigration sentiment in 2022, the moderate center-right government supported by the National Conservative Sweden Democrats announced a complete overhaul of its immigration and asylum system last year. The reforms carried the ambitious goal of turning Sweden from one of the most permissive countries in which to acquire citizenship into one of the toughest. Wow, guys, like a 180 degree from being the easiest to get citizenship to one of the toughest to get citizenship. This is what we want. This is what we want. All right. And then it says, in addition to making acquiring citizenship much harder, the government also began closing legislative loopholes to address labor migration and family reunification abuses, while also incentivizing voluntary returns and ramping up deportations of illegal migrants. At the same time, labor migration was made. So guys, this is doable. Like, these are doable. Like, you could see what Sweden, like, you don't even have to guess what policies we need for us to make this work. Sweden is providing you with a model that you can copy, right? At the same time, labor migration was made easier for thoroughly vetted, highly qualified workers. See, this is not an anti-migration as a whole. This is anti-mass migration, anti-unfiltered migration. But at the same time, they make it easier. This is the balance that we want. At the same time, labor migration was made easier for thoroughly vetted, highly skilled quality workers. So, in fact, if you close down the loopholes for mass migration and taking advantage of taking loopholes in the misusing the asylum seeking process and all of that, if you manage to do that, if you close that all off, then you will have your hands open. You're going to have enough resources to actually allow in migration that is thoroughly vetted, because you're going to have enough resources to do the vetting. See, all of these things that we have been saying, now we can see that it's not just theory. We have empirical evidence for it. These were not just us chanting things that we want. This is actually doable. We have evidence now that this is doable. So this is not just us just theorizing, philosophizing that this would be good. This can work. When we say that you could, if you stop migration, mass migration, illegal migration, and taking advantage of your asylum seeking process being used by economic migrants instead of people who actually are in danger, right? If you stop all of that, that doesn't mean that we're anti-migration. In fact, you will be able to get higher quality people in lower number and higher quality. This is actually a pro-migration policy. Stopping mass migration, stopping unfiltered migration, stopping people taking advantage, false advantage of your asylum seeking process. It's actually a pro-migration policy in two ways. One, because now you're going to get very skilled workers, and two, the people who are now going to use the asylum seeking process are actually people who actually need it, because most of the people that you are letting in from the asylum seeking process, these are people that are not in danger. These are economic migrants that are misusing the asylum seeking process just because they want a different life in a better country. Like, we have had, like, what was it in Germany? Dolly, maybe we should make a stream about this. I don't know. In Germany, there are reports now that the people who are coming out of Syria to Germany from the asylum seeking process, they're not going back to Syria for vacation. For vacation. The asylum seeking process is supposed to be for people that are running away from that place to stay alive, because they're claiming that, oh, if we stay here, we will die. But now they're in Germany and they're going back to Syria for vacation and then coming back to Germany. Like, what the hell? Your life was obviously not in danger. Maybe we should do a stream on that. Maybe we should do a stream on. Yes, we should do a stream on that. These are not actual asylum, seeking people. Anyways, let's go. So let's continue. We were given. Oh, so I was saying in two ways it helps actual good migration, because you get highly qualified, highly vetted workers, right? Two, another reason why this is pro-migration, because all of these people that are coming into your country, they're actually hurting somebody else. So imagine all of these people that you're feeling sorry for, that are using your asylum seeking process to come to your country. They're not just harming your country, they're harming the other asylum seekers who are actually in danger. That ex-Muslim, that gay or trans person, that is their life is under threat, right? The Christian who's their life is under threat because of Islamists or whatever. The Jews, right? Many other these people who are actually their lives are in danger. They're harming them as well, because they're flooding the system with asylum applications, and they don't need it. The asylum seeking application is supposed to be for the people, not for people like, oh, I need a better life. It's for the people who are actually will die if they don't leave. That's what, or they're going to get imprisoned or tortured or abused. It's for them. All of these thousands of people who are coming to Europe, they're actually hurting somebody back home, because the system is flooded with their applications. This is evil. It's evil. Anyways. Yes, there is, Amir. Maybe we should do a stream on. Let me know in the comments after if we should do a stream on this, to show how embarrassingly obvious it is that the asylum seeking applications are being misused, right? Anyways, it says we were given a very clear mandate. Oh, who's this? This is which minister is this? I forgot who this person is. It's one of the ministers. Who this? Who this? Who this? Oh, here. Stangard, Sweden. Who this? Okay. So this is the Swedish politician. What politician? I know she's a freaking politician. Okay, she's just a politician. It's not telling me. Okay, so the politician. Where were we? Okay, so she's saying we were given a very clear mandate to get immigration organized and not least to fight crime. And that's what we work every day to deliver to voters as well. Fantastic. Good job. Addressing leftist criticism, the fewer migrants in Sweden should be seen as a tragedy. So the leftists are saying this is a wow. Really, the leftists in Sweden are saying the fewer migrants in Sweden is a tragedy instead of being celebrated. The minister, so she's a minister of justice, I think, if I remember correctly. The minister said it was up to the voters to decide to change course again in a few years if they want, right? But until then, this will remain Stockholm's official direction for the time being at least. Sweden has stopped being an asylum immigration country. Wow, this is fantastic. Guys, this is great news. Let's actually look at these numbers. There had been growing pressure within Sweden to dramatically change course on immigration in the years prior to this paradigm shift within the moderate party throughout so guys, this is not the far right party, okay? This is a moderate center right party having this, so this is not you cannot label this as a far right position. Throughout the past decade, it became increasingly clear that large sections of the first generation migrants are either unable or unwilling to properly integrate, leading to a spike in organized crime and gang violence. Sweden itself has gone from having the lowest number of shootings and bombings to the most in the entire EU. That's a huge shift. But I mean, why does it have to get to this point where you eventually do something about it? For instance, Sweden saw over 350 successful or thwarted bomb attacks registered in 2023, as well as 361 shooting incidents, including 53 fatalities and 109 woundings. By the way, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Imagine if you have this level of crime levels increasing, the rest of them who are not committing crimes, the vast majority of them are not actually. So this is the this is the tip of the iceberg. Like, this is the worst that it could get, with people being having this level of criminality. But that shows that underneath all of that, you have a lot of migrants who are not committing crimes, but are not good for society either, because that's just the expression of the most vile and disgusting part of their ideology or culture. But a lot of them also have vile and disgusting ideology and culture, but not to the point that they're committing crimes, but to the point where they are bad for society. And that's they might not make it to the evening news, but they are more in number, and they're eroding the foundations of your society even more than those criminals, right? And then it says Sweden's gang problem also began to spread beyond its borders, recently promoting neighboring Denmark to consider reinstating permanent border checks. Look, permanent border checks on the famous, I don't know how to pronounce this bridge name, that connects its capital, Copenhagen, to Malmo, Sweden's most gang-ridden city. So, guys, now we have border checks between 2 EU countries. Wow. What happened to borders being invisible between EU countries? So that's not happening anymore, right? By the way, I should try to find... let me actually read you guys this. Yes, because let's do some fact-checking, right? Is the crime rates actually because of migration? Because some people argue that it's not, and I will try to respond to those arguments, right? So here's what I have. Studies indicate that individuals with immigrant backgrounds are overrepresented in Sweden crime statistics. For example, people born abroad are reportedly 2.5 times more likely to be registered as crime suspects compared to native Swedes. This overrepresentation persists even when accounting for socioeconomic factors such as education and employment, right? So even if you adjust for that, have higher crime rates, right? Research suggests that socioeconomic factors, including poverty, unemployment, and lack of integration, play a significant role in the crime rates among immigrants. So here's the thing: given that they have lower socioeconomic, status, even if you remove that, they're still committing higher crime rates. But if you add that to it, then the migrants are significantly responsible for more crimes than to the average population. So that, you have the ideology which is responsible for them being this backwards. They have an inferior culture, they have an inferior way of life, but you add on top of that, unemployment, poverty, which is also an indicator for higher crime rates, and basically they work together. So if you remove it, they have higher crime rates, but if you add that on top of it, it will just make it extra effective in the immigrants being responsible for more crimes, right? So it's multifactorial. These factors are seen as contributing to the higher crime rates rather than immigration itself. So here's the thing, it's interesting. They're saying that it's not the immigration itself, it's that these immigrants have lower socioeconomic factors, right? Like poverty, unemployment, lack of integration. So, and they're trying to say that it's not it's the lack of integration. So this is what the leftists are saying. They're saying immigration is not the problem. It's that these people are poorer, they're not integrating, and they're not educated, and they're not employed. So if we could integrate these people, and if they were not this poor, and if they were not this uneducated, and if they were employed, then this will be solved. So that makes it not an immigration issue. You know, that is like saying, like, if I catch a murderer, and then like, well, it's not his, we cannot blame the murderer for being a murderer. He was uneducated. He had a horrible ideology. He had bad friends, and that's what made him a murderer. So he is not the problem. Those factors are the problem. I'm like, okay, yeah, but those factors are now part of him. So it's so bizarre where the leftists are saying, like, we shouldn't stop immigration. We should make these people integrate and educate them and employ them. Yeah, but you're failing at that. I mean, the fact that it's so hard to integrate them is because of their culture. And you're saying, like, oh, lack of integration and poverty is the issue. Well, these people are more poor and they're more uneducated compared to your average citizen. So how are you separating that from the immigrants? You're bringing uneducated, poor people with inferior culture that makes them unable to integrate. And you're saying that the immigration is not the problem, the lack of integration is the problem. Well, the lack of integration comes from who they are. I mean, how are you trying to separate these things from each other? Does that make sense? Do you know what I'm saying? So the leftists are saying, like, we should still bring migration, but we should just work harder on integrating them. Well, how about you just bring people in lower numbers and from better places so that they can integrate? How about that? How about you do that? Why not that? Does that make sense what I'm saying? This is inseparable. Saying that this is not a migration issue, this is a poverty issue. Like, let's just say it's just a poverty issue. It's not an immigration issue. Well, the migration, you're bringing in poor people. And then you're saying it's an unemployment issue. Well, you're bringing in people that are harder to employ. Like, oh, this is an integration issue. It's not a migration issue. Well, you're bringing in people that are harder to integrate. So it is a migration issue. And then it says, there is evidence of organized crime clans in Sweden, some of which are linked to immigrant backgrounds. These groups are involved in serious crimes, including gang violence and drug trafficking, which have been rising concerns in Swedish cities. Okay, some political parties have emphasized the link between immigration and crime, which has influenced public opinion and policy. However, some people caution against oversimplifying the relationship, noting that most this is what I wanted to respond to. Okay, listen to this, guys. This part is important. Okay, some people are trying to raise. They're like, oh, guys, you're oversimplifying things. Okay, let's see how we're oversimplifying things. Right? They're saying don't oversimplify the relationship between crime and migration, noting that most immigrants are not involved in criminal activities. Most immigrants are not. What the fuck? Do you guys know how numbers work? Do you understand how numbers work? Like, guys, don't blame the immigrants. Don't blame mass migrations. Look, most of them are not committing crimes. That is not the claim. What are you responding to? The claim is not that most of them are committing crimes. The claim is that their population is committing crimes 2.5 times more than the native citizens. This is a straw man. What claim are you responding to? If the native population is committing this, like, let's say the metric was 100, right? And the population that you're bringing, their crime relative to that is 250. Even if most of them are not committing crimes, this is going to bring chaos and disorder and instability to your nation. They don't have to all be committing crimes. They don't have to be most of them that are committing crimes. They just have to be, their standards have to just be lower than yours. Their crime rates just has to be higher than yours. Their values just has to be more backward than yours. It doesn't have to be every single one of them. It doesn't even have to be most of them. It just has to be at a much higher rate than your native population. That's what it's required for it to fuck up your country. That's all that is required for it to fuck up your country. Not that most of them, we're not making the claim that most of them are criminals. Just that their crime rate is much higher in their population on average than yours. That's the claim. What is this straw man that you're responding to? Does that make sense what I'm saying here? Am I making sense? Let me know if I'm making sense. Anyways, by the way, let me respond to some of your comments. This was a comment at the beginning of the show. I just took this very seriously. This really hurt me. I was very offended by this comment, right? The Impossible Man left a comment saying, Armin, the foul, smelly racist. And I was like, how dare you? How dare you? Right before this show, I promise you, right before every show, I have showered. I am a clean freak. I am very, very pleasant smelling and clean. Okay? Very clean. Like I take cleanliness maybe too seriously, I would say, right? So yes, I showered. I shower every day. I spent a lot of time in the shower, and I smell very, very good. Okay, so next time you want to insult me, it's Armin, the clean, pleasant smelling racist. Okay, the clean, pleasant smelling racist. Thank you very much. Please get that right. Okay, and yeah, save your country. That's a good one. And let me see what other comments that Alfred has highlighted for me. Somebody saying, weird, I have Swedish friends and they say you're a propagandist. Me? My Christian friends in Palestine also think you're an idiot. LOL. You're paid by Zionists. Fuckface. Wow, I'm actually very honored. Am I this famous that you have friends that talk about me? So you calling me a Zionist fuckface? But I mean, sure, whatever. But you just randomly are meeting people that are talking about me. This is such an honor. Well, thank you so much, Frosty. I didn't know my influence is getting so widespread that you just have friends that are talking about me in such a negative way. That means that guys, please make sure this channel is becoming very influential. Random people have friends that are talking about me. So guys, the channel is growing. This is great. Make sure you like the channel. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell notification, because it shows that we are becoming stronger. If we have like random people speaking ill of me, that means that people are hearing our message. So please go ahead and like the stream and leave a comment after the show is over. And if you're new here, please make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification so that our influence continues to grow. This is great. What a great news. Thank you, Frosty. So let's go to this one. Levantek is saying, I don't know. Oh, I already read that one. How is this a joke? Okay. I don't know. Some of the best countries to live are Muslim ones: Malaysia, Oman, Qatar, UAE, Kuwait, Indonesia. So wait, some of the Malaysia, Oman. Okay, so first of all, these are not the best countries to live in, but yeah, sure, they're relatively better. But if you actually look at every single one of these countries, the less Islamic they became, the better they become, right? So Malaysia, for example, is going somewhat backwards, and lifestyles becoming less. The more Islamic Malaysia gets, the worse the life gets, and the less Islamic they get, the better the life get, right? So if the standards, you can see that our claim is not that every single Islamic country is a shithole to live in. Our claim is that the less Islamic an Islamic country is, the better they become. right? So, for example, go live in UAE, right? It's sure there are some Islamic elements in it, but see the less Islamic UAE is compared to, I don't know, somewhere like Pakistan. Like compare UAE to Pakistan. Where do you think this Islamic standards are being applied more, the UAE or Pakistan, right? So look at how much fun is it to live in Pakistan compared to the UAE? I mean, look at Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is becoming easier to live in the less Islamic they're becoming. So yeah, some of these countries are not that bad to live in, but is it because of Islam or is it because they're just being less Islamic? So there's that. Somebody else is saying the Swedes will easily convert. They are too weak. Well, they seem to be doing better when it comes to defending their countries than the UK right now. So I wouldn't call them weak. Maybe, I mean, we'll see where it goes, right? Somebody else is saying, Armin, about the buses, men at the front and women at the back is because the drivers are men. At least that's the reasoning in Israel. On Orthodox buses. Okay, so that's actually makes it worse. The fact that the segregation between men and women is high enough for you to have less women drivers, right? So that shows that the equality of opportunity for genders is not there, because why can't a woman drive a bus? But again, that's not the reason why it was given to us for why the men are at the front. But the whole point is that the segregation is insane. The fact that you're segregating based on gender, that's insanity, you know, whether it's Islam or Judaism. Then you're saying net immigration isn't necessarily a good thing. It might be because the veteran Swedes are leaving. Well, you spoke too soon when you said this, because I showed you the data that's actually they checked that, and it wasn't because of that. The people who were leaving were from countries like Iraq and Somalia, and it specifically mentioned that this is not a brain drain. So we have the data for that, right? Ron is saying the right-wing coalition, new political government in my country chose a woman for immigration minister that had previously said some stuff about the great replacement theory. And I'm like, yeah, some of these, this is the problem that we have. Like sometimes like we want to stop mass migration, and then we find a lot of people who are anti-mass migration. Some of them are cuckoo. I'm like, oh my God, like why can't we have more sane people being anti-mass migration? Some of these people have some weird conspiracy theories. Bird person is saying, I wonder if instead of Muslims, the Hindus were the problem. Imagine a lot of Hindus taking over Europe. It would be fun, I think. Well, no, that would not be fun. Based on our experience with Hindu radicals on this channel, that would not be fun at all. I mean, to be fair though, to Hindus, they're radical. No, actually, I shouldn't say that. Never mind. Ramtin is saying, do you know what's funny, Armin? Muslims constitute roughly 6% of EU, and Islamists are minority within this community, and that has destabilized liberal democracies. What robust system, best system? It hasn't destabilized them. You guys are exaggerating, okay? We are concerned, but these liberal countries are still the strongest countries on earth. People exaggerate when they say the UK has fallen. We are concerned. We do want to fight against Islamization, and it is a threat. But you guys think that this is a threat to liberalism. You have no idea what liberalism has survived. This is nothing. Liberalism will survive this. Liberalism is actually too strong for this to be able to destroy it. Again, I'm not saying that we shouldn't see it as a threat. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be alarmed. But if you think this has destabilized liberal democracy, you're dreaming. Your focus is very short term. You don't look at how you should look at history on a much more long term perspective. Liberalism has defeated Nazism, Japanese imperialism, and communism. Much greater threats These ideas dominated the world at some point. Liberalism after the French Revolution was an idea that spread across Europe, and then between 1933 and 1953, it seemed like it has lost. Most of the world was taken over by totalitarianism. Anybody that could read a map could see that Stalinism, Nazism, and Japanese imperialism had captured most of the planet, and liberalism was just a naive, weak, pathetic idea by some philosophers from the Age of Enlightenment, and the liberal modern republicanism was just a dream that some people had, and now these days are over. But look what happened. Liberalism came back with such with such a force, and now it's dominating the entire world. You have no idea what liberalism is doing. Liberalism is you're swimming in liberal ideas so much that you're not noticing that everything is based on those standards. The very concept of nation state is now based on liberal principles. Every country that has a parliament, has elections, is based on liberal democratic principles. The whole world trade is based on liberal democratic principles. Everything that you buy, your entire lifestyle, everything that you enjoy, all the peace and stability that you enjoy is because of liberal democratic principles. So you're swimming in these ideas and these principles, and you don't notice that your entire life is being ruled by it. And you think this is a threat. This 6%, these Muslims coming up with their ideas, they are a threat, but they're nothing compared to the force that Nazism, communism, and these other forces were. And they were crushed and defeated by liberalism. And these people will be as well. These are just temporary setbacks. You must be so blind to how dominant this ideology is to think that this is going to destroy liberal democracies or completely destabilize them. If you actually knew how ingrained this ideology is in our way of life, you would notice that yes, Islam is a threat, but this is a temporary setback, and we will recover. We will recover. Liberalism always wins at the end, and the reason why liberalism always works at the end and wins at the end is because it's just too good for business, and it makes so much money, and it's good for trade. And when it's good for money and it's good for trade, it also gives the countries that have those principles more money and more resources to fund their military. And at the end of the day, it will come back. Even if there's a temporary setback, it will win. But it will win because not just because it makes money, but because other people like you and me will defend it. So there's that. Mazak is saying many immigrants in Sweden are actually Iranians. Iranians per average are even more educated than native Swedish. See, they are just racist. That's their problems. So I don't care what country you're coming from. I myself am an Iranian. Many Iranians are Iranians per average are even more educated. So if they are educated and their skills are required, then they should be judged individually. Okay, so actually talking about entire group of people as if they should be judged based on their average, that is getting closer to racism, I think. If your country wants to allow in people based on what they need, it doesn't matter if they're Iranian or not Iranian or Syrian or Iraqi, they should just be judged individually. Based on the skill sets that they have, and based on the values that they have, and based on a very strict vetting process. So I don't, so I'm not tribalist. I'm not going to be like, because I'm Iranian, oh yeah, Iranians on average are more educated, so let the Iranians in. If Iranians are on average are more educated, we have many Iranians that will also be backwards and dangerous, and we have Iranian gangs in European and North American countries, right? So if you are educated and you are needed and you don't have backwards beliefs, then that should be the criteria. You should be judged individually. I don't care that you're Iranian. You should be judged individually based on that. And if a country does not have the resources, to individually check every single person, then they should stop bringing migrants from Islamic countries until they have the resources for them to vet every single individual in a very strict way. So I don't know why you mentioned them being Iranians. Are you trying to use my like tribalistic tendencies, if I had any, to be like, oh yeah, well that's bad? I would be completely in favor of not accepting any immigrants from Iran. I say that as an Iranian. If it was even if they had many educated people, because even if you bring immigrants from a country that on average has good people, if it's done in an unorganized, unfiltered way, even that country is going to be a source of problem for you, right? So it matters. What matters is not. It matters more on your methodology on who you let in, and that methodology could be done more precisely if the numbers are low, right? So your methodology in vetting people matters more than you trying to say that, you know, such a country has higher, on average, has higher, more educated people. So for me, yeah. So, for example, Iranian migrants in the United States have been a really good source of entrepreneurship and education and wealth, right? But the same Iranians, if you just let them in without any filter, and just let them in, the same population is now going to be a source of problem. Like, let's say, for example, in Iran, we have migrants coming from Afghanistan, and now we have a problem in Iran, mass migration from Afghanistan to Iran. The same Afghanistanis in Iran who are now being a source of a lot of problems, demographic change, inferior ideas coming into Iran, and higher crime rates because of Afghanistanis coming to Iran. The same country, Afghanistan, even Afghanistan that has an average lower education, more backwards values compared to Iran, the average demographic in Afghanistan, could actually be a good source of migration to Iran if it was a mass migration, if it was selective, if it was based on the skill set that was required in Iran. So again, it's more about the methodology rather than what is the average education level in that country. Oh, Mary, thank you so much for the super chat, saying very happy about Sweden. Let me actually see if I address this. Yeah, I don't even know exactly what Nasdaq meant, but I addressed it anyways. And let's go to this one. Alfred is saying, hey, Twitter friends, if you want to be part of the show, join us on YouTube and drop a comment. We'll highlight it. Yeah, guys, people who are watching us on Twitter, please head over to YouTube and subscribe to Atheist Republic over there. All right? So 500 people are watching this. Half of them on our YouTube, half of them are on Twitter. Twitter people, X people, I don't know what you want me to call you. Come to become YouTube people, because you get to be part of the live chat and you get to chat with other people and your comments get highlighted. It's a lot more fun. Just search for Atheist Republic on YouTube and come subscribe to us over there, right? Anyways, I'm going to finish here. Thank you for everybody who subscribed. Thank you to everybody who liked the stream. And also, please, after the show, leave a comment. The comments are very helpful. The channel grows more if you leave a comment after the show, okay? And also, tell me if I'm being racist. A lot of people are calling me racist. Tell me how I'm being racist. I don't want to be racist. I don't want to be unintentionally racist. So if I'm being racist, please tell me how I'm being racist so I can stop being racist. Okay? Tell me. I don't think I'm being racist. I'm not sure. You know, I can never be sure. Maybe I am. But if I am, I need to be called out so I can stop. All right? So let me know. I think I'm just being a liberal. I think I'm just being a liberal. But people call me a racist. Anyways, thank you, everyone. I'm going to head out. I'm going to get ready for the Persian show. And till next show, stay liberal. Mwah.